I'm back. Alright, what's up, travelers? How's it going? I'm going to do a book review. Technically speaking, I did this book review up on my blog way back in September when I got the ARC copy from NetGalley, but now that it's out and about, I decided I'm going to put it up on YouTube. Let's get started, shall we? I'm just going to read the summary on the back of the book. When a 200-year-old witch attacks her 16-year-old bookworm, Lainey Styles is determined to find a logical explanation. Even with the impossible staring her in the face, Lainey refuses to believe it, until she finds a photograph linking the witch to her dead mother. After consulting a psychic, Lainey discovers that, like her mother, she is a keeper, a witch with the exclusive abilities to unlock and wield the Grimoire, a dangerous but powerful spellbook. But there's a problem. The Grimoire has been stolen by a malevolent warlock who is desperate for a spell locked inside, a spell that will allow him to siphon away the world's magic with the help of her comic book loving best friend and an enigmatic but admittedly handsome street fighter. Lainey must leave her life of college prep and studying behind to prepare for the biggest test of all, stealing back the book. The way I do reviews is first I talk about the good, then I talk about the bad, and then I address my final thoughts on the whole situation. Let's just jump into it, shall we? Okay, first, the good. I really, really love the world building and the world itself. It takes place in modern day, but, you know, there's magic with it. So while you could sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to be watching TV, and boom, lightning bolt struck your TV. That doesn't actually happen in the book. I'm just giving examples. Next, what I love is the characters, especially Lainey and Maggie, their friendship. Like, a lot of times you see, and sometimes in just TV in general, where the females are supposed to be best friends, but they're really just nasty to each other. Whereas in this book, Lainey and Maggie are they're so close, and they're loyal, and they're there for each other no matter what. Like in the beginning, not a spoiler, but Lainey has to study for her SAT preps, but Maggie found this boy that she really wants to go on a date with. So she pulls a whole sisters before misters, man. She promised her best friend that she was going to study with her, and that's what she is going to do. What I also like is the romance. It's not antagonistic, it's not aggressive, it's very sweet and caring, and hey, I know you're going through some stuff, I'm here for you if you need me, and not a whole lot of I'm not gonna call you because I'm angry right now, and I'm not gonna stalk you because you talk to some other dude. It doesn't make me cringe. Now time to get into the bad. A lot of these may be just my own personal opinion. I do try to be as objective as possible, but here it goes. While I do love the romance, I also have to acknowledge just how tropey the characters are. While I love how nice they are to each other, it's just like, you know, Lainey is described as the plain girl, whereas the love interest Ty is described as mysterious and super handsome, and he has this bad boy aura, and, you know, he gets in, even the back of the book called him a street fighter, so it's kind of, whereas tropes aren't inherently bad, it's just seeing them over and over again, it's kind of like, alright. Next, again, this is extraordinarily personal, but I don't like how it became a trope to give these teenage characters these weird, outlandish favorite books and music and all the time. You know, it started with Twilight, and at first it was a cute quirk, and now every author wants to put it in their book, and it's kind of like, I don't know how realistic this is. It's like, oh hey, I listened to Claire de Lune. I think that's how you say that name. and in this book, Lainey's like, my favorite book is Great Gatsby, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Personally, like I said, I love classical music myself. I listen to it every now and then. I have plenty of Beethoven on my iPod, but it's not my most played. It's not something I will tote around going, yes, I love this book and I love this music. And no, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I like that song. I don't go out of my way. It wouldn't be, when people ask me what type of music you like, it wouldn't be on my list of things. Like I said, this whole thing is a personal issue. It's just like, I feel like it's a trope that's overused to make your character seem more quirky, and it does the opposite. It just makes them seem pretentious, in my opinion. And lastly, I would point out that as much as I enjoy that it takes place in modern day, and you get to see references to stuff you know and can enjoy yourself, I think it gets a a bit too much into the references. I mean, that could be seen as realistic. I can imagine that there would be a person who would just make references to everything, but then I feel like all the references kind of makes it seem like these characters aren't really realizing that this is happening in reality and they need to come to terms with it. My final thoughts on this is that it's well worth the read. I follow the author. She's a YouTuber. She gives out good advice to helpful. She's very her bubbly personality is very contagious, and she worked really hard on this book. And I read through it. I couldn't put it down when I first started it, and to me that is similarly like even with the problems I had with it, I still would recommend this, and I also would recommend going to check out her channel. She also does these chance to connect on her Twitter page where you can connect to other writers, and it's great and it's fun, and I'm really proud of her, and I'm happy that she got to see her baby come to life. Alright, that's it for today. If you like what you've seen here, feel free to subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday, and on the weekends, despite the fact that I actually haven't been posting on the weekend, I make nerdy videos, usually gaming related, but I definitely do play on Twitch. If you like, all the links are in the description box down below. Later days.